Hi, this is Abby Collins, and you're listening to the Geekcast Radio Network.
There is nothing wrong with your podcast player. Do not attempt to adjust the volume. Hello and welcome back to our studio. You are now inside Studio 2009. I'm, of course, TFG1Mike, and joining me is Steve Megatron. Hello.
Hello.
As we return to the new podcast that we started here, we are gonna go all summer on you here in the middle of winter. And today we're going to be talking about the super soaked 90s.
The Super Soaker 50. Just pump up our powerful air pressure system, and you can soak someone up to 50 feet away. The Super Soaker 50 from Laramie. Also available Thunder Flash and Super Soaker Wing Thing. Each sold separately.
20 years ago. Can you believe it? 20 years ago, Lonnie Johnson and Laramie Toy Company created the Super Soaker. One of the best water guns ever. Hasbro bought them out eventually. Sadly, but it's kind of still going. The original slogan was "Wetter is better." Obviously, because Hasbro owns Nerf, and Super Soaker is under the Nerf banner, the slogan now is, it's Nerf or nothing. You know, Super Soaker never was... like, there's no Nerf darts, it's water. It's just water. I mean...
That's because Hasbro doesn't know what to do with it. So they're like, hey, let's put it under Nerf.
Yeah.
Because it's a gun.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's whoever wrote the Wikipedia article, but they do refer to it as a weapon in the Wikipedia article, and I'm like, oh boy.
Well, technically it could have been.
Yeah, absolutely. You could put, acid in there or something. Not saying anyone should. Not saying that at all. Just saying there's plenty of things you could put in a Super Soaker besides water.
Well, I mean, you could have put soda in it.
No, that would have made them explode on themselves.
No. But it for sure would have been messy.
Yes, it would have been.
No, I remember these. What's funny is they say that the guns don't have triggers. They're fired simply by pumping. Although, which that was like the piston pumper type thing.
Yeah.
And then they had like the Super Soaker 50, and then they had, the smaller water guns and air pumped, and they had multiple versions of it. They had motorized ones too later on, but that was much later. I'm going to see if I can find it. I want to say it was the Super Soaker 100. No, it wasn't the 100. Maybe it was the 50.
Yeah, most people had the 50. I had the 20 and the 25.
I had the 50.
Yeah. I had the 25 and the 30 at one point, and then I eventually got a 50. I don't think I ever got above a 50, because the ones above 50, man, they're friggin' huge.
Well, the beautiful thing about the Super Soaker 50, which you can buy the original one, the vintage one from Laramie, for $125 on eBay.
Jesus.
Because it's a rare green, green bottle thing. What I enjoyed about it was, and we had kids over our fence that weren't exactly nice, and they always had the bigger, better Super Soakers, and these are basically just like a type of They say that they're made out of like PVC tube, a 2-liter bottle, and like acrylic glass or whatever. Anyways, these particular Super Soakers, the 50, had a trigger, and a lot of them did when they got bigger. And it has pump action too to charge it up. Mm-hmm. The thing is the bottle was too small. And if you're having a Super Soaker fight with somebody over your fence, it just doesn't cut it.
Yeah.
So that being said, like I did not have the Super Soaker 200, which had the double barrel version.
Yeah.
I didn't have, the Super Soaker 300. Although I did have, they had like the Super Soaker, like it was like an extreme line or something. After a while, the CPS, I think.
Yep. The Super Soaker CPS 2000.
Yeah, I had the CPS 2000, but that was much later. Those things were a beast. You could hurt somebody with them.
Oh yeah.
Because it was highly pressurized. I mean, that's what it was.
Yeah.
It held 3.1 liters of water, and it was like I forget what the constant pressure system.
Yep.
And they hurt. We shot each other at close range with those things when we were kids, and they were painful. What's funny is they had two different two different tanks for that thing. They had the MK1 and the MK2. Mm-hmm. The MK1 was bigger, but they sold the MK2 as a replacement with a tank capacity 33% smaller, like basically 20 ounces smaller. Mm-hmm. And then it said, or smaller at 20 ounces instead of 30 ounces. And then it had a poorer shot time output and range than the MK1. So you could have much higher pressure in the MK1.
Yeah.
Did I forget to invite you to the pool party? Well, maybe next year.
On those occasions when you need to make a big splash, there's the Super Soaker 100. It has a powerful air pressure system.
Oh, Buffy!
A range of up to 60 feet. And a drenching spray. The Super Soaker 100.
It's a water gun of a higher caliber.
Also the 50, or the ultimate, the 200.
But what I did with the Super Soaker 100 is it was the perfect size to hook up a hose into the nozzle. Like, it was the same size hookup as a 2-liter bottle or a hose. And I discovered this one day while we were having a Super Soaker fight over the fence, and these kids they always had the biggest and the better of everything. And, they had a trampoline, they had a pool, they had all these higher end Super Soakers. They had the backpack Super Soakers, and we had these Super Soaker 100s. Mm-hmm. I was not to be outdone. I hooked it up to a hose. I didn't have to pump it. I just had to pull the trigger.
Oh, dude.
And it was great because it shot the 30 feet that was expected from the Super Soaker, and because it was pressurized from the hose hitting it, a little bit sprayed out from the O-ring area, but overall, I got much better pressure, and I didn't run out of ammo. As long as the hose was on, I had ammo. Those kids didn't do that again after that.
I don't think they would have. Yeah.
So then it became I want to use the Super Soaker 100. No, that's mine.
Get your own.
Yes.
Now, I was 10 years old when these things came out. You were 4 years old. At what age do you remember starting to play with these things?
93.
Oh, okay. So you were 7.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit younger, but yeah. I mean, considering the Super Soaker 100 came out in 91.
Yeah.
So I think I might have had it in 92, but yeah, it didn't become a high powered pressured system until like close to like 97, 98.
Yeah.
Bottom of the ninth. Bases loaded, full caliber. Talk about pressure.
That's not pressure. This is pressure. The Super Soaker CPS constant pressure system.
A full blast from first shot to last. The CPS 2500.
And 3000 with power gauges to tell you how much pressure you're packing.
3 and 4-way nozzle.
The 3000 2-gallon soft pack is easy on your back and holds more water than any Super Soaker ever.
Now that's pressure.
The Super Soaker CPS 2500 and 3000 each sold separately.
The pressure is on.
You're washed up, kid.
That was mostly because the bottle busted, and I was like, I don't have ammo. The hose.
The hose! Get the hose!
What I would have been smart doing is getting a small piece of hose, and then creating a multi-hose hookup to buying multiple replacement bottles, and then having my own backpack system.
Oh, jeez.
That would have been spectacular.
Oh, that's funny.
Or wheel around a cart.
Just wheel around a cart.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I remember playing with the thing. I remember my cousins and I used to have water gun fights all the time with them. That Super Soaker 2000, though, man, that thing had a warning label on it. Do not point and shoot at people's faces or eyes. Because, you know, you want to pull a Ralphie. You're going to shoot your eye out, kid. Yeah. Man, that's the thing. But the technology that they put into these things and the advertising that they did for them. I love the Super Soaker ads. I thought they were so cool.
Oh, yeah. Why wouldn't they be?
Yep.
Now, it's funny, too. The Super Soaker 50 and the 100 basically had similar builds. I might have misreferenced there. Yeah, I didn't have the 100. I had the 50.
Yeah, you had the 50.
Yeah. But either way, you could hook up the hose to both of them. But yeah, it's funny. Hasbro came out with, or no, not Hasbro. Laramie came out with a 10th anniversary one in '98.
Oh wow!
And it's all chromed out. Looks pretty slick, actually. I would probably jump for something like that, to be honest, because it's really cool looking. But no, I had the standard, yellow gun with orange tip at the front and orange trigger. So yeah. I don't know. I would have fun with that for hours, even now.
Now here's the real question: would your wife let your kids have these things?
Probably not.
They gotta learn sometime. Somehow, some way.
Yeah, that's all right. We're gonna do bow and arrows.
Oh, that's definitely more safe than a water gun.
Well, teach them target practice. They'll be like Nerf ones. They're not real.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm being sarcastic when I say, like, I know she's not gonna let you pull a Robin Hood over here.
Come here, kids.
Yeah, come here, kids. I want to shoot your eye out. Oh, God, that's crazy.
Yep.
But no, like I said, we're getting back in the studio, and I'm getting things set up for new episodes of the show, and every 5 episodes we have on the 5s, 15, 20, 25, we'll have the podcast approach stuff, and at the time, the original plan was for me, you, and your brother Brian to record Super Soaked 90s, because what was it like with you having 2 other brothers and all of you having the guns?
Oh, it was mayhem. Yeah, it was kind of a guaranteed slaughter on their behalf.
Oh, so you as the older brother basically decimated them.
Yeah, they didn't. No. It was kind of a, yeah, come here. Yeah, they didn't like it too much sometimes.
Wow. That's crazy.
Just being honest.
Uh-huh. I know this is a short episode, folks. Like I said, the original plan was to have more people here to talk about this stuff. But what are your memories, everyone, of these Super Soakers, and what kind of battles did you have? You can either send us email or comment on this episode on the post on the website. Feedback at geekcastradio.com. Next time, I don't know what we're doing next time. We're going to do something. I gotta move some stuff around, folks, and gotta make sure things are planned out right, and make sure I'm doing this thing right, and get the podcast rust off of me. 'Cause, yeah, a lot of rust.
A lot of rust.
It's very itchy.
Ugh.
That's what she said.
That doesn't even make sense.
I know, right? Nothing around here makes sense. Yeah. So, next time, episode 12, we're either going to do music or we're going to do movies. I haven't decided yet. Episode 14, I want to combine ice cream and therapy.
Have you ever seen the episode of Jeff Goldblum's thing on Disney Plus? The World According to Jeff Goldblum or something?
Not yet. Does he do ice cream stuff?
Yes, he has an ice cream episode.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out before we record that episode then. Basically, the way I wrote this out is I scream therapy. So it's going to be a combination of us talking about ice cream and scream therapy, which I'm a huge fan of. Scream therapy, for those that don't know, is what Tears for Fears went to when they made their song Shout back in the 80s. They actually went to a therapist and learned how to scream properly in order to sing the song Shout. And I'm a huge fan of screaming at the top of my lungs when I'm so pissed that I can't see straight.
Okay, then.
Because at least it, at least it gets my frustrations out without having to punch walls or things like that. Because at least me screaming only hurts other people's ears versus, me punching a hole in a wall in the apartment saying, oh, you have to pay for that. So, yeah. I have anger issues. I'm very hulkish. Oh boy. Anyways. Like I said, folks, rust. A lot of rust. It's a sea of rust. Thank you for joining us here inside the studio. If you'd like to get in contact with us or leave feedback for the show, there are several ways to do so. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com. You can comment on this and all of our other episode posts and all of our other shows. Here are all the ways you can listen to us nowadays. Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, and of course, the home where our files exist, Spreaker. Leave the show's feedback in iTunes. Please do this. I gotta check that. See if we have any. I doubt it, but whatever. Follow us on Twitter. The network is at Geekcast Radio. The show is It's Studio 2009. I am at TFG1Mike. What is your Twitter?
At SCP-21.
Become a fan on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/Geekcast for your network and Studio 2009 podcast. For now, I am TFG1Mike with
Steve Megatron Phillips.
You'll hear us back in the studio soon.